Hello, everyone, and welcome to United Way. Live United. I'm Terry Westerfield, and joining me today, I have friends in from Raintree Children and Family Services. I want to welcome to the program Whitney Armentar, who is the Development Associate there. Hello, Whitney. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. And Giselle came as well. Giselle Butte-Sparkman, who is the foster care case manager and recruiter. How are you doing, Giselle?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad you're both here because Raintree is just such an important part of our nonprofit social service world. And for those of you who are listening today, let me tell you just a little bit. Raintree Children and Family Services is a community impact partner, or we want to say a multiple partner agency of United Way of Southeast Louisiana. Now, Raintree is a multi-service nonprofit organization, and you folks have a rich history of providing services to children and families, and I think it's more than 88 years now. Is that correct?
It sure is. We've been in the community since 1926.
And you've been one of the original there out and working within the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Whitney, tell us a little bit about the history and the overall mission, if you can.
Sure. Raintree started, as we've been saying, in 1926. We originally started as an orphanage, and over time we evolved to what we are now, which is helping with foster children. But as I was saying, we started as an orphanage, and in the 50s we became a maternity home. And then around 1972 is when we started the programs we do now and our mission, which is the Raintree House, foster care, and our family support coordination program. To touch briefly on those programs, Raintree House helps teenage girls ages 10 to 17 in foster care. They've been victims of severe abuse and neglect, and our goal with them is to get them to some kind of permanency, whether that's to help them age out of the program and into independent living after age 18, or get them back in school and get them on the right track. Foster care, we're helping place children of all ages, both boys and girls, into loving foster homes in the community. And Family Support Coordination, which is a United Way partner program, helps infants 0 to 3 with developmental disabilities.
So you have quite a lot on your plate.
We sure do.
A lot of services, and yet you're one of the smaller agencies that has one of the biggest jobs.
We do. We're a very small staff. There's only about 27 of us, and that's including those who work in the Raintree House. There's a ratio with the kids being there's 12 there. We always have 3 or 4 staff members on at all time, and they rotate around the clock. So when you factor that in, we are a very small staff doing a lot of great work in the community.
You know, I would love to come back and I would talk about more of the programs individually. But right now, we want Giselle to chime in because I know that there is a big push. There is a need for the public to participate in being foster parents. As you said, that was one of the things that, you started as the orphanage and then moved into foster care. And tell us, what has happened? Is it, as you said, Whitney, because there have been so many that have had problems in their lives, their parents may no longer be around or guardians, and that they just need the help?
They absolutely need the help. Right now in the state of Louisiana, there's more than 4,000 foster children in the system. Actually, another surprising fact is 32% of all those children are teenagers. Ooh. So we're looking for people that are willing to take children of any age. Like I said, there's a big percentage of kids that are teenagers. 66% are younger than 10 years old. A lot of these kids just need someone to open their heart and open their home and give them the attention and love that they need. So right now we have a huge push looking for foster parents that are looking to take a child of any age. And I'll let Giselle talk a little more about the specifications of what it takes to become a foster parent.
Please, because I was going to say it's got to be a lot more than just signing a line and saying, okay, I'm ready.
Yes, there is. To become a Raintree Therapeutic foster parent, some of the requirements are having a high school diploma or equivalent. You can have 2 years of college or formal education in human services, child development, or nursing, and 2 years work experience in specialized field. Or you can have 4 years of experience in specialized fields or in parenting a child with special needs. You can also live in the following parishes: Orleans, St. Bernard, St. Charles, Jefferson, and St. John. You must undergo a criminal and background check. You will participate in a family assessment interview, plus pre-service and in-service training. Now, those are the requirements, but some of the benefits of being a Raintree Therapeutic foster care parent is that you would have the chance to help teenagers and children develop and improve their self-esteem. You'd have the opportunity to meet and work with new people. You would have the opportunity to make a lifetime of difference in a short period of time. You would have ongoing staff support services and ongoing trainings.
That would be amazing, the difference a person can make in someone else's life. Tell me now, if we've just talked about what the requirements are, and someone is out there listening, hopefully a lot more than a someone, please give a name, an address, a phone number, a website. What is the best way? Are there several ways for people to get in touch that are interested?
Yes, if someone is interested, you can contact myself, Giselle Boutte-Sparkman, at 504-899-9045, extension 33.
Whoa, stop, because right now someone's rushing to find that pen or pencil or paper. So Giselle, one more time.
You can contact myself, Giselle Boutte, at 504-899-9045, extension 33.
And do you have a website?
Yes, I have a website. My website is G. Boutte-Sparkman at RaintreeServices.org.
And let's talk a little bit about some of these requirements, because you're saying 2 years of college or formal education. Now you're saying in human services, child development or nursing, and 2 years work experience in a specialized field. Specialized field meaning, again, the broad idea of somehow involved in social services or children. Is that what is necessary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So wonder if you haven't had that, but maybe you're a professional individual or couple and you have good jobs. Are there things you could do? You say you're very interested in helping foster children. Are there other ways? If you can't become a parent, or are there courses that are offered? What could someone do in that case?
Well, if you're not a parent and you've never been a parent, we take in consideration your job requirements. Some people have job requirements as nurses, some CNAs. They've cared for mentally disabled person, or they've cared for their grandchildren or nieces and nephews.
So that gives the prior experience there.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
Yes.
Tell me about when you, let's walk through it if you don't mind, because I'm sure there are a lot of folks who are very interested in this. Now, someone has listened today and they say, by golly, I'm going to contact Giselle or Whitney, and I think I'm really interested about becoming a foster parent. Walk us through the whole process of what's going to happen after that initial contact is made.
Okay, after that initial contact is made, you will get an application packet to complete. Once you complete that application packet, which will include some of the issues some of the requirements that I've addressed previously, once you submit that, then you're to return that packet back to Raintree. Raintree will schedule a home visit, come out to your home and discuss any concerns, discuss that application packet, and any concerns that you may have at that time. We will explain again what the program requirements are. You would have to go and have the criminal records check. You would have to be fingerprinted. You would have to pass different clearances through the agency of DCFS once you're fingerprinted.
And that's the Division of Children and Family Services, right? The state
yes.
agency? Okay.
Yes. After completing that packet and submitting, again, we will make 3 visits to your home or 3 visits with you. Upon completion of that, we will provide you with the pre-service training.
Now, Giselle, let me ask you, and again, Whitney, please weigh in at either time, ladies. Mm-hmm. Are there certain, size requirements? Does the child, is it required that he or she have in this case we're talking have their own room, or are they allowed to share a room if you have a child or another foster child?
Well, foster children would have to have their own room. They can share a room. They would have to have their own bed.
All right.
They would need their own bed. Now, if a child is developmentally or physically disabled, and you want to keep a closer watch on that child, the child may share a bedroom with you, but the child would have to have their own bed.
And when someone is serious about this and they say, I really want to do that. You were talking about this training. You've gone through the packet of information. You filled out the forms. You've passed with flying colors. Your background check, and now it's take that deep breath and say, all right, now I'm ready. But you say there are classes, there's training. What do you have to go through?
There's 7 pre-classes, 7 classes that you'd have to take. And they're usually offered Monday through Friday from 4 to 9 in the evening, because we do take in consideration that people are working. We don't have a date at this time for the next class, but we just completed a class.
So you're just gearing up because the interest and the need is always there.
Yes.
Now, do you usually try to make sure that it's a woman because you're working with girls or men with? Please, Whitney, explain.
It can be anyone.
Okay.
Because in the foster care program itself, it's both boys and girls. The only program that's just girls is the Raintree House. But family foster care is, couples. It's, sometimes elderly women who are single. A lot of times you get parents who are hitting empty nest syndrome. When their kids are grown, they want to try again and have more kids and have that experience and share that love that they continue to have.
I was going to say that it seems to me that it's just such a natural, and to hear that there are 4,000 children out there and someone could make such a difference in their life. And especially, I imagine all the trials and tribulations they've been through, some as young as 10 and younger, and not having that stability. It's got to be overwhelming.
It sure is. It can be. But we've been really fortunate to have fantastic foster parents. I can think of a few offhand who've taken some kids that have just been incredibly rebellious, and they managed to turn these children's lives around completely. I'm thinking of a story from this past spring where we had a young boy who came to this foster parent. He was failing out of school. He was basically demerit away from being expelled.
Ooh.
Turned it around completely. He was captain of the football team, captain of the basketball team, homecoming king, and just started at LSU this semester.
Oh my gosh, talk about a success story.
That's the difference that one person can make in a child's life, to take them from being on the brink of being, on the streets and just going into a completely different lifestyle, to making them and helping raise them up to be successful.
So you're talking about a lot of love to give, but
absolutely.
Also structure, I would assume, and are there sometimes counseling classes and things that are also involved between foster children and foster parents?
It depends on their plan and what's going on. As far as foster parents, once you are a Raintree foster parent, you do have to keep a certain amount of training within a year. And it's also not like when you become a foster parent with us, we're not like, good luck, we'll talk to you whenever. It's, we keep up with you.
You're monitoring this
We're
situation.
monitoring this. The case managers go out once a week to visit the family, and they have to keep a certain amount of contact with the child, because sometimes those visits are during the time they're in school. But contact is kept between the parents, between the children, to make sure everyone's happy, to make sure everything's going well. And if a child needs extra help, if a foster parent needs extra help, we're there to help them get what they need to succeed.
How does one become, and I guess I'm thinking my own personal experience. I have a cousin that I often forget started as a foster child. And to me, she's just my cousin Betty, who I love and adore. But she came into the family a little bit like what you're talking about, or had Whitney, an empty nester, and my aunt and uncle, and brought Betty in. My other cousins were older and had gone off. And what a wonderful life. She poor Betty had not had a good opportunity, and the things that changed and moved on. And so really that's often just the key, is being able to listen, to love, to learn, and to I think aspire to something better for that child.
Absolutely. I mean, just having that support, it just makes all the difference in the world of watching these kids just turn around completely, and the difference that love can make for them.
And Giselle, you look like you wanted to say something about that.
Yes. We also have some kids in our facility, in our homes, that are developmentally disabled. And this, I'm thinking about another parent couple. They've had this child. She can't talk, she can't walk, but to see this child in this home where she's been since about 3 years of age.
Oh, my goodness.
And to see the love that is being provided for this child, and to see this child smile and the attention is just overwhelming. And it just overwhelmed me and filled my eyes with tears to see that these people were so attentive to this child, that this child is able to smile despite all her disabilities.
And something like that, I would imagine, you do need some additional training and help and guidance depending on how severe the disabilities might be.
Yes.
Because especially if they involve, I guess, the use of medical equipment or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And in that particular case, the state's provided a nurse that helps with the foster parents, during the day for anything that they need help with additionally.
And would it also, I guess, go to equipment or things like that and medical needs?
It's taken care of through the state. If the child has medical needs, then that's part of their plan, and it's part of what's taken care of.
Now, right there, that makes me think, how does Raintree get involved? Is it because the state, you mentioned earlier DCFS, Division of Children and Family Services, do they have kind of a list and they say, Raintree is one of our great partners and we know they can help us maybe find foster parents? How does this all interconnect?
It depends on the situation or the situation with the child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they have a certain criteria where a child needs a therapeutic foster home. Then they will call maybe Raintree to see if we have a space available for that particular, a family available for that particular child.
But do you try to keep the children, say, since you work in primarily St. Bernard, St. Charles, Jefferson, St. John, and then here in Orleans Parish, do you mostly just children are from this area with whom you work so that there is an opportunity that in case they do have any family within the vicinity they can visit? Because I've always wondered how that breaks down. I know that you two are experts on it. You're looking at me, Terry. What are you asking? But I'm really curious about that.
Well, our children come from all over
the
state of Louisiana.
Okay, so it's not just within our region.
I will say this, they've gotten better in the last several years of trying to keep, and I'm thinking more in terms of Raintree House, they've gotten a lot better about trying to keep kids, to where if we're here, they're not trying to get a child from Ruston who's coming to stay with us. They have gotten a lot better of kind of closing that radius to where if they do have family that they're still in contact with and can be in contact with, that they're at least within a driving distance, a reasonable driving distance of a day.
Well, Whitney, you've just brought up something in a segue. Maybe let's go back to the being a foster parent and what to do, and we'll talk more about that. But to keep it straight for our listening audience, too, the difference between we want you right now to really think seriously about becoming a foster parent and working with Raintree, but you have Raintree House. And let's go back and delve into that a little bit more.
Sure. Raintree House is a residential group home for girls ages 10 to 17 in foster care who've been the victims of abuse and neglect. These children are referred to us, and they come to us from Department of Children and Family Services. And we evaluate each child before we accept them into the house to make sure that they're a good fit, to whether, we can provide them the help they need to grow and to succeed. Sometimes you hit cases with the Raintree House where it's a child who has just gotten into the foster care system. Let's say dad's out of the picture, mom's been incarcerated, but there's an aunt who can take custody. Sometimes kids are just caught in foster care for a little while until someone can get that legal custody and go through the courts to attain her. So we've hit an uprise of kids like that. We've also seen an uprise of kids who are in their late teens. So in the state of Louisiana, if you're a foster child, when you hit 18, that's it. You're out of the system. But we've been seeing a need to help and serve these children more.
I was just say, though, it's got to be a shock because you've been through so much in your young life already. There you are, and then all of a sudden this magic number comes along of a birthday and goodbye, see you later. They need to be prepared. They have to have skill sets. They still need they need to be loved. They still need to feel somebody's there for them.
And at 18, we don't just, open the door, kick you out, and say good luck.
Bye. No.
We don't do that. We prepare these kids for life outside of foster care. We help them with independent living. We partner with Catholic Charities to make sure that the kids who are interested in, getting into an apartment, getting into something like that, have a place to go afterwards. We're personally, as an agency, starting to expand further with that. This past year, we were able to get one of our foster children who was interested in going to college. college. So we helped her, ACT, we helped her get set up in her dorm. Think everything that you do for your child when they go to college for the first time, we're seeing the need for that. So we're starting to fundraise to do that, to help kids, to, buy them that comforter set, to have that microwave, to have, a small TV in there, everything that they need for life out of foster care to be successful, whether that be college, whether it be vocational school, or whether it be going straight into the workforce. We make sure these kids are taken care of when they age out of our program.
Because you don't want them to leave the program with nothing at all.
No, and we don't want them to be another negative statistic. There's too much of that, and we see the need where we need to step in and help these kids. So, and for the younger ones who aren't quite that 16, 17 age, we're helping them too, and we're, saying, look, these are what they're doing now at 16 and 17. You're going to be there too one day, and we're helping them see, there's a brighter future. Whatever your past is, that's your past. It doesn't dictate what your future is. So we're helping these kids try to thrive and see the bigger picture of everything they can do in this world once they leave foster care.
Well, once they're in Raintree and before they can even leave, if they're of a certain age, I'm thinking there's school, there are things that come with being a certain age, everything from not just seeking education, but the joy sometimes and pleasure of being in high school and proms and all these other things. Do the girls get to participate?
Absolutely. They're
right.
They're normal teenagers. They go to school every day. They do all the dances. They go to the movies. They go to the mall. All of that. So prom is always fun. That for me is like one of the best times because we've been really lucky of having some businesses throughout town partner with us and think about us around prom time and donate dresses. And we'll do hair and makeup and take pictures. On the stairs. Everything that you do with your kids at home, we do with them, and we make sure we take pictures. They all have. Every foster kid has like a life book, and we make sure we take pictures for them to put in their books so that way they see, all the good that's
They have a pictorial history just as anyone would.
As anyone would.
Well, we're back in school now. I mean, depending, I guess, where they go to school, they might need uniforms or things like that. Do you also, besides United Way, do we ask the community to get involved? Because I would imagine, first of all, folks, yes, funding is always needed for programs. It's for those who do the work and for these beautiful children who need this help. But what about a uniform that might be, say, gently used or shoes or toiletries or any of these other things? Are those things you ever look for or need?
We do look for uniforms in that. Because of policy, we cannot take anything that's used.
Okay.
That's just through the state. We can't
No,
do
that
it.
makes sense, but in case someone's listening, because I wasn't sure about that, so I like to ask the questions others might.
No, we appreciate that. But uniforms is something we're always looking for. Socks is something we're always looking for. Shoes are great. Honestly, like gift cards to Payless or things like that are a huge help. If anyone listening wants to donate school uniforms, that's major because, as you know, kids grow really fast. And even with a stipend for that, kids just grow like weeds, and we, are having to replace that stuff all the time. So we're looking okay on school supplies, but throughout the year, if you have extra notebooks or things like that, that's always a help because even if the girls leave Raintree House, we let them keep everything. So when a new girl comes in, we like to have that stuff in place so that way, she's not missing or wanting for anything.
And it's a new chapter in her life, and this is going to ease it as she moves in.
Absolutely.
And transitions.
Other little items that we need, toiletries are always, a big help. Towels are a major help because some of these kids come, they have no towels. We let them keep their towels. So towels are helpful. We were just really fortunate to have our kitchen renovated by the Magnolia Foundation.
Ah, fabulous.
But any type of like plates, glasses, things like that. Just think about 12 to 15 people if staff are having dinner with them as well, going through the dishwasher and being used every day. Extra plateware and things like that can be a huge help, utensils, that sort of thing.
Now, if people are interested in donating some of these things, do they come directly to the Raintree House? Do they call you? Is there a drop-off point? How does that work?
They can give us a call and come to our office. Anyone who comes to our office, we're more than willing and welcome you to take a tour of our facility. If you want to give us a call, our number is 504-899-9045, and you can ask for me, Whitney, at extension 35. And for those of you running for the pen, that's 504-899-9045. My name's Whitney, like the bank, and you can find me at extension 35.
I tell you what, it's just such a remarkable agency. And you have so many, as I said, other programs that I know that you've been involved in for years to give children whether they be part of Raintree House or foster children, a well-rounded opportunity for a good life and to really prepare them for the future. And does that, I know you mentioned Catholic Charities before, and of course United Way Partner Agency, but there are the nonprofits with whom you work as well? Kind of all, it seems to me, interconnected, all going for the greater good here.
We are, and we work with Goodwill Industries. We work with Job One. I think that's the name of it, Job One. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong.
From the yeah.
Yep. We work with Job One. We work with Junior League. We actually just started a partnership with one of the Kiwanis clubs in town. They come in and do a cooking class once a month with the girls. That's actually something to touch on. If you ever want to volunteer with us, please also feel free to give us a call or go online. We have very limited volunteer opportunities, but if you have an ability that you'd like to share, we've had people come in and do jazzercise. We actually had someone come in and do kind of a painting with a twist type of class where you paint by instruction. We've had people do sewing lessons, dance lessons. I mean, anything like that. If you have a skill and you'd like to come and, teach a class to the residents, please feel free to reach out to us because that also means a lot to them.
What about mentoring in terms of, say you were an ace high school and college English student or something? Do you ever come in and work with the kids, the students, on things like that?
We have some of that. The Raintree House does have tutors provided. We have tutors there 5 days a week, so we don't necessarily need as much of that. Is kind of more of the fun stuff. We've kind of got, as the kids would tell us, the boring stuff taken care of. But if you want to come in and do something that's a little more fun and upbeat, then definitely reach out to us. Another group that we do partner with is the Tulane School of Social Work, the graduate school Cactus. Cactus comes in. Cactus stands for something, I'll be honest. I can never remember what it stands for, but Cactus comes in once a week and just does an amazing job with our girls. I mean, from anything from going trick-or-treating with them at Halloween to, just doing self-esteem and personal well-being building with them.
And there's so much that those children need. Ladies, we've had such a good time talking. We are almost out of time. Giselle, I wanted to go back to you for just a moment and maybe wrap up. But again, the need for foster parents is there. One more time, some of the criteria and how to get in touch with you.
Okay, again, a high school diploma or equivalent, 2 years of college or formal education in human services, child development or nursing, and 2 years work experience in a specialized field, or you can have 4 years of experience in a specialized field or in parenting a child with special needs. Live in the following parishes: Orleans, St. Bernard, St. Charles, Jefferson, and St. John. Undergo criminal and background checks. Participate in a family assessment interview, plus pre-service and in-service training. Also, be between the ages of 21 and 65.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I don't think we had mentioned that before. So those are the preferred age group. And again, this is for both for boys and girls, or young men, young women. And,
yes.
And so the desire to help folks, this is an opportunity. You will get as good as you give. It is so rewarding. And Whitney, we have about 1 minute left. If you just want to give us one little wrap up too, I'd sure appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. If you're interested in being a foster parent, learning more about us in any way, please feel free to reach out to us. We are at 899-9045 in our 504 area code. You can visit our website at www.raintreeservices.org. And I'd like to point out, if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like to be a foster parent, if you just want to learn more about us, we have all kinds of applications online if you want to learn more about anything regarding us.
I tell you what, it's fantastic. Raintree Children and Family Services is a community impact partner of United Way of Southeast Louisiana. Raintree is a multi-service nonprofit organization with a rich history of providing services to children and families for more than 88 years. Good going, ladies. Thank you so much for coming today. Whitney Armenter, who is the Development Associate at Raintree Children and Family Services, and Giselle Boutte-Sparkman, who is the Foster Care Case Manager and Recruiter. Ladies, thank you for joining me. I'm Terry Westerfield, and for United Way, come on, let's say it all together. Live United.